I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Sparky.
And Salty.
So yesterday we featured Carmen. We got like a Where in the World is Carmen San Diego. Shit, I should have said that yesterday. Her name is Carmen. It would have been like,
Yeah, I thought you weren't saying her name on purpose.
No. So we featured Carmen yesterday as a villager shirt, and then we've got Cora right now. So it's basically anywhere on the planet.
Here's our shirt.
Rocking a Sori's secret shirt. Somebody asked if it was Courtney Cox on the thingy.
I don't know who that is.
She's, Friends.
Oh, at least it's a woman. Sometimes people ask if it's some man.
Courtney Cox?
Yeah, but sometimes they ask it. They say, oh, she looks like, they'll say I look like that man from I don't know what.
You don't look like any man ever. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I've seen sometimes in the comments where they say
screenshot that. We've got to do a mean tweets. We've got more than enough material for mean tweets.
And we do.
We got that guy with the globe thing, and he follows us around.
I know.
Shout out
plenty of material.
What's that guy's name? It's Big Ol' Something.
I don't know. I told you I don't really read the names. I look at the picture.
I went against medical advice and went ahead and took that Vicodin. So.
You know what? Seriously, I don't know what. If I wouldn't have said you really shouldn't take that, then.
No, it inspired me not to take it.
For what? 10 minutes. Then you would have said, now when you get sick or whatever,
what were we talking about?
You're gonna say. The last time he's like, you should have told me not to take this. So this time I tell him he waits 10 minutes. Well, good, Vin. We're progressing.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah. So we got the shirt thing going on. So if you want to get a shirt, vinsori.com. And the website.
Vinandsori.com.
What did I say? Vinsori?
You said vinsori.com.
You still got it.
Vinandsori.com.
All right.
And,
so today we're doing Metallica. Blackened.
Yeah.
And it's the live version. Hopefully we got the right one for you.
I wonder, people go, oh my god, this is a Metallica Slipknot channel. We do one Metallica song a week. You'll notice it's usually on Mondays. I'm being hesitant to call it Metallica Monday.
Yeah.
I feel like that's lazy. But we do one Metallica show a week. What did we do? We did that Being as an Ocean. We did...
I know, yeah. We've done some bands that self-hatred one.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of bands that people aren't doing.
Chill out, people.
So then I told the young man, I said, hey, please provide me the link to your channel and show me how you do it. I
know, somebody said you were being a dick.
Well, it's a genuine question. I want to know how he does it.
He said it was a private channel, right? Okay. Oh.
Well, look, here's the point. The point is, this song, for example, Blackened, this song has been requested, literally, the same dude has been requesting this for about 3 months. Ever since we started, he's requested this and this specific one, the one in Seattle. But we purposely didn't do it.
So we could get the other stuff in there. We haven't done a Tool review since we did the Lateralis review because people were complaining we did too much Tool. But then the Tool fans are like, did you forget about Tool? Are you mad at No, we're trying to balance out not oversaturating particular bands. People have been asking us to do one. We've purposely avoided that. You just can't keep some people happy. Right.
Then we did Behemoth. We haven't done Behemoth in like 2 months. Somebody goes, oh my gosh, Behemoth again. I'm like, what are you talking? Just hit play. This Metallica Blackened. I'm going to go off on a tangent here.
It's hard not to.
Shout out to Cora for getting the shirt. Appreciate you.
She looks badass in it too.
She does.
All right, ready?
God almighty. Oh, screen it.
You know who got me into the Black Album? You'll never guess. Take one guess.
Sharif.
No. This dude named Michael Savage.
How would I even know that?
Michael Savage. He's like this like hyper right wing. He got banned in a couple countries. Like this.
How did he get you into it?
Real miserable dude. Because he had this radio show and he used to come on like right as I was done my Burger King shift. I'd come home and there's Michael Savage. And he had Metallica. He had Shorter Straw and he had this shit.
Oh.
On the
and you were like, what is it?
On his intro. And I was like, oh, what is this? Well, I knew it was Metallica, but it wasn't, And then I found the Justice record. And I was like, what the fuck? You can just listen to Justice straight through. A to Z is an unbelievable record.
Oh, really?
But yeah, so this is how I found Justice
Would that
for
be
All.
a live listen or not?
Probably.
Possibly. Someday, one day.
I just feel like bands like Tool and bands like Pink Floyd are more
of a live listen,
because it's more like an experiential.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know, but who knows? So that's how I found this record.
Okay, what year did this come out? They
80s?
look so young.
88?
Yeah, they look so young, right? When they were coming out, I was like thinking, because they were like all like happy and the crowds are cheering, they're like blowing kisses to the crowd and stuff. What?
This is after their buddy died.
It looked like a memory.
So.
I mean, obviously it is a memory, but it looked like, it kind of had like that sad, a little bit color to it, where it was like because you never, all the times that we have in the moments that we're in currently, they will not last forever. So, enjoy the moments, enjoy the people while you have them, because tomorrow, is different than today. But just watching them, I was like, oh, like they had each other, at that point, and they were coming out, and they were like so young and skinny, and it was cute. Then they came out, and I thought that they put on a great show, like the explosion up in there and stuff. And like this is the 80s, so you know what I mean? Like it was even, I would assume, of course I don't know much about shows, but to me it looked like, wow, that was quite a production for the 80s. It wasn't? That was typical?
You had to hear bands and all that shit.
What?
Michael Jackson was big at the time.
Oh, right.
This is kind of run of the mill, to be honest with you.
Oh, well, I thought it was good. I liked it.
Well, I will say for metal, because Metallica had this underground vibe to them. Mm-hmm. So they were this giant underground band, that really, after this they came out with the Black Album, and that was the end of their underground days. Mm-hmm. Watch it all. Mm-hmm. That was the end of it. But I mean, it was a good show. I wasn't there obviously, but.
I mean, I prefer the Slipknot energy, but this was I felt like this is more mature than Slipknot.
Well,
you know what I mean? It's well thought out and
yeah. This to me was like Metallica at the peak of their musicianship.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what was the song? I mean, I don't know what the song was about. Was it talking about the end of the world?
Well, I never really listened to the lyrics. All I heard was the intro, it's such a beautiful, sad intro. But if you, and then I heard watch your mother put to death, see your mother die. So I thought he was talking about his mom.
I thought it was Mother Earth.
Because he had to watch his mother die, essentially, because of all the religious shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought that's what the song was about. But then as I was reading it, I was like, no, this is Mother Earth.
Yeah.
And he says it. Death of Mother Earth.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Yeah.
And then he talks about, watch your mother put to death. It's talking about how human beings are screwing up the planet. Mm-hmm. It's not about,
Yeah, it always surprises me when, because to me they look like young kids, you know what I mean? I know that they're older than I am now, but like I said, they come out a little skinny and stuff, and they look like young kids, and then they're thinking about they're thinking about stuff that matters, like the planet and stuff like that. And it's always surprising. I expect young metal bands to sing about their rebellion and their anger and stuff. So it always surprises me whenever they talk about something that affects all of us. You know what I mean?
Well, it's usually the young people that worry about the destruction of the planet because they've got, you know,
many
60 to 70 years to, you know, usually the old people, you know, once you hit about 60 or 70, you're not going to have to worry about it, you know, so there you are. But yeah, this song is definite. This is kind of like Gojira is about, you know, pretty much the planet. Like they did a whole record.
Expect them to do that.
They did a whole record about that.
Yeah, I expect them to do that because aren't they more of like they're not as old as Metallica is.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of in right now, you know what I mean, to be conscious and woke, and in my opinion it is.
Yeah.
So like when these people back then, you know, in the 80s are singing about this, it's just surprising to me. So kudos to them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was that like
if it was that far-fetched for them to be doing that.
Yeah. I mean, wasn't it the 80s is when we started really becoming planet conscious? People started recycling and shit.
Yeah.
You know, so 88.
So then it does kind of make sense.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
Blackened is the end. Winter it will send. One of the things I will say is that this song, lyrically, I always thought, like, I've been saying in the last couple Metallica songs that we've been doing, it's like, oh, you know, Hetfield isn't a good writer. That's not his strength lyrically. This one, though,
he did good, you think?
He did a badass job with Disposable Heroes.
Yeah.
And he did a really, really good job with this one. So maybe I'm not giving the man the credit he deserves. I mean, everybody doesn't have to be Danny Filth to write good lyrics. All right, so here it is. Blackened is the end, winter it will send, throwing all you see into obscurity. Death of Mother Earth, never a rebirth. Evolution's end, never will it mend, never. Did you ever have a time when you thought like the world's going to end because of our pollution? And
no.
Is it because of your theology?
Yeah.
You were raised with what was your thought process?
God's going to blow the whole thing up when it's time for him to blow the whole thing up, so. And matter of fact, I think I would laugh at people that were concerned about the planet. I mean, not to their faces, but...
You laughed at me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I always laughed at you to your face. Like, I felt like you could handle that.
You did. I'd talk about the planet. You silly Negro. God's going to ruin the planet.
Poor brown man doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought that God was going to destroy it, so, like, Revelation stuff, so I'm like, so we're not.
It's one of those things where it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, like, if you believe that the world is going to, like, end up in, like, this massive flame, then you're going to do shit that brings about that end.
Yes.
So you talk about, like, greenhouse gases and, like...
Yeah.
Like I always say, like, I don't know the extent to which we're fucking up the planet, but I do know that we're fucking up the planet.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know the extent either, but I do know some things, and the things that I know about, I think are terrible. And then I think, what things do I not know about? Like, what things do they not tell us that they're doing?
Oh, is that black lady on the Joe Rogan show?
Yeah.
And, like, her whole shtick is, like, she's a young black millennial, like in our category, but she's like a social injustice warrior. That term social justice warrior is very interesting to me because somebody said I was being social justicey in the Behemoth video because I was talking about how, you know, women are referred to a lot in black metal songs. So he's like, oh, you're being social justice.
Yeah.
I said, what does that even mean? Does that mean, like, should we go for injustice? Are we saying there's no injustice? Everybody's cool? Like, what the fuck does social justice mean? Like, seriously. But anyway, so she made YouTube. She actually got famous for doing YouTube videos, surprise, surprise. And so, like, you know, police brutality and all that, and she basically took the Fox News angle on it and basically said, black folks are fine in America, everything's all good. So of course...
I feel so terrible for...
Of course, Fox News flew her in and brought her into a studio and gave her a show. Well, they didn't give her a show, but she's like a correspondent now, as if she's like the voice of black... You know, you can always find some... Yeah. Yeah. You always find somebody like that to get propped up. But anyway, she makes this appearance on the Joe Rogan show, and she's talking, very articulate, very brilliant, system. Very proud of her. And then Joe Rogan starts talking. He starts talking about like the facts, like all these scientists got together, and it was kind of like the Aaron Ra interview where he was like denying that Jesus existed or whatever. And I said, Aaron, all the historians, like they're all in consensus laughing at you. And he goes, well, I know that, but they're dumb. But I will say, like, the difference with Aaron was he was like putting out his bevy of positions as to why these super educated people were wrong. But so at least he tried, right? But like, she wouldn't say anything.
No, she said, I don't believe it.
I don't believe. Oh, right. That's right.
And then Joe Rogan was saying, well, why are you saying it's? He was more or less trying to get her to say, I don't know. I haven't studied it. I don't know.
Right.
But when you say I don't believe it, that means that you have some understanding of it.
He was trying to get her to be responsible with her influence.
Right, but
because
she was totally, well, I said she was missing the point, but you said she was not missing the point. She was being very purposeful in her words.
He was missing the point.
Yeah.
He didn't understand what was happening.
Right.
Because there's something about Joe Rogan that's kind of like childlike.
Yes.
Because he's like on this giant search for knowledge, and like he will change his perspective based on the data, like in the middle of the show. Because all he cares about is finding the information and the truth. Well, he doesn't realize that 99.99% of the planet is not like that. So he's hitting this young lady with facts about how we're fucking up the planet. And she goes, I don't believe that. I
couldn't believe how long he kept trying to get her to see the light.
That's how you know he's so naive. He's a beautiful... True. He's a beautiful brother.
He seems nice.
The facts are, if she says, I don't know, and even leaves an inch of possibility that we are fucking up the planet, then that goes directly against everything that Fox News stands for.
Right.
And her brand is, she's a young black millennial on Fox News.
Right.
And so if she'll
lose that office.
She will lose that office with the quick, and they will boot her with the quickness.
Yeah.
So she's playing the financial game. She's not playing his game of like truth seeking and all this shit. So she was like she wasn't having it. This is a good line. Millions of our years and minutes disappear. So like if you like, I don't know how old the universe is. Are you a young Earth person or old? Are you a young universe or old universe? I used to
always be young. Like again, that was another one of those things where I would laugh. He has to be young. God created it in 7 days, and time started, and so we've got...
Well, in verse 1 it says, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, so everything was already created by it.
Yeah, like I said, I used to be younger, but now I'm like...
John Sailhammer has like millions and billions of years between verse 1 and verse 2.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, when we do our scientific research, it looks more than thousands. Right?
Well, I never understood. I was never able to really like grasp the concept of like
how they carbon date and stuff like that.
No.
What?
Of why evangelicals were so big on saying the Earth is like 6,000 to 10,000 years old.
Well, I think that's because they don't realize what you just said about verse 1 and 2.
Yeah, but
so they were like, no, it has to fit into our Bible. If it doesn't, we're in trouble. So
well, okay. So let's say that it says. So if God created the earth in 7 days, how does that mean that it only happened 6,000 years ago? Couldn't he have created the earth in 7 days 7 billion years ago?
Yeah, but then people were created and we started... Well, I was under the assumption that we started counting time and then time counted down until BC, so where are these dates coming from?
I don't even think you understand what I'm saying. What my question is.
Yeah, I understand what your question is. What you're saying is, why are we saying that it's been thousands of years, and how can we even know that it's been thousands of years? What if he created the universe and then a billion years went by before he started the creation of Earth?
No,
and the things going on.
I'm not even saying that. Let's say there's no gap between verse 1 and verse 2, which is fine. Why it doesn't say in the beginning 10,000 years ago God created the heavens and the earth.
Yeah.
So why are you holding on to this idea that the earth is the universe is only 10,000 years old?
Because when you're counting generations from Adam and Eve and all the way down. That's how we're getting thousands of years. That was to my understanding.
Where is there's like a count of generations in the Bible?
The genealogies? Yeah, I thought that they just counted the genealogies and then figured out roughly where we were, and that's where they got the dates, and we just went from there. And so those dates can't be wrong. So, what?
I just think that's a ridiculous way to gauge the age of the universe.
It says exactly, specifically how many years the person was from life to death. So how is that a bad way to count it?
What are you talking about? Like, where is this?
What? In the Bible.
Where in the Bible?
Okay, where's the Bible? It just says Abraham lived X amount of years. He lived and died. Then he begat children. They had blah blah blah. So there's like a timeline that's made out of people's lives.
So because Abraham has a family tree, that's how we're gonna date them.
It's not just Abraham. It goes all the way down to when Christ is born.
What? I've never seen this before. Okay.
What are you talking about? Is this the Vicodin, or am I completely off?
It could very well be the Vicodin, but I literally have no clue what you're talking about.
You need to get that tooth fixed.
There's something that traces all the way back to like the literal beginning of the world?
Yes. Adam and Eve had children, and it's recorded who their children are and how long everybody was living. It specifically says how many years. Adam lived like 900 years or something like that, right?
Well, there's a genealogy in Genesis 5.
Okay.
Yeah, but that still doesn't answer the question. How long? So that doesn't date from when Adam was alive to now. How could you know?
We started keeping track of that.
Okay, so let's say if Adam was born 10 billion years ago.
Yeah.
And then you have a genealogy from Adam to Noah, which is what you have in Genesis 5. How does that date the earth at 10,000 years old?
Wait a minute. So what? Start over.
You have a genealogy from Adam to Noah. You're talking about the genealogy in Genesis 5.
Yeah.
Adam gave birth to Seth.
And this is how long they lived.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Right? Does that only get you from Adam to Noah?
And there's nothing else after that?
So how are you getting 10,000 years? What if it happened 10 billion years ago?
No, there's a list of the kings that took place. That also gives us dates.
The list of the kings.
Because how long when they were alive and they were ruling, that spans time for us. So we're...
All right, we'll talk about it offline.
Seriously?
But this is the same reaction I'd get when I said, well, how does that make it 10,000 years old?
Well, this is what I thought it was. I mean, what the heck?
Must be the Viking. Yeah, I just never understood why. When I was in the first grade and we were learning about dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah.
And then people were like, oh, the Earth is only 10,000 years. I was like, well, I wanted my Tyrannosaurus Rex. Not my Tyrannosaurus, my the little guy, the Triceratops. That was my favorite guy.
You wanted the Triceratops?
Yeah, so I was like, well, how can the world be 10,000 years old? Where does that fit in for my Triceratops? And they were like, oh, that's from the devil. I was like, all right, I'm done with y'all.
It's from the devil?
Yeah, like the dinosaurs and shit. You know what I mean?
That's so sad. Is the Triceratops that little short one?
It's a small one with the three horns.
That little
you
thing?
Couldn't fuck with him though.
Oh, you're so cute. I've never met anybody that was their favorite. Everybody always wants the T-Rex.
Yeah, I couldn't fuck with a Triceratops. Anyway,
so cute.
Anyway, so there you go. I'm an old Earth guy. She believes that the Bible has definitive proof that it's only 10,000 years
No, you
old.
asked me, the question that you asked me was...
Yeah, but you're looking at me like I'm crazy.
Why? Because you're making it look like...
At me.
That's because you're making it look like this things that I'm saying about people's life and death is not in there.
No, I know it's in there, but that doesn't have anything to do with how long the planet's been around. The fuck does that have to do with anything?
How do they know what year Abraham was alive?
Nobody knows what year Abraham was alive. Who knows how?
Do they speculate?
Who's they?
Anybody. Does anybody speculate when Abraham was alive?
Look, we have
It's a yes or no. It's a simple yes or no. Do they speculate when Abraham was alive?
First of all...
Theologians, whatever.
First of all...
What?
The general audience that are being presented in the Torah are not even literate people. They're not even literate, so... For you to act like they're like these hard dates for...
Moses was schooled in Egypt. What are you talking about? Why are you rubbing your eyes?
Because I said the audience wasn't literate.
Fine,
I didn't say that.
What does that have to do with what does that have to do with the recorded information?
Because it's not like Moses said 2,000 years ago God created the heavens and the earth. All he said was in the beginning.
He couldn't say 2,000.
So for you, yes, he could have. What do you mean? He was a very educated young man.
Oh yeah, I know that.
So for you to act like, these illiterate people, for the most part, would have been able to say, oh, that's right, that should happen 2,000 years. It's ridiculous. If anybody would have tracked it, it would have been Moses. He's the smartest guy around.
I feel he was tracking it when he was giving the lifespan of the people as he...
Right, let's move on.
He did the genealogy.
Let's move on. Let's go to something different.
This is a V for Vicodin. You need to see the dentist.
Millions of our years disappear in minutes disappear.
Darkening in vain. Okay.
Decadence remains. All is said and done. Decadence is like you're just overindulging on shit. So now you're gonna, because of our decadence, like, do you really need that second car? It fucks up the planet. Of course. So this is coming from a band who's traveling all over America, destroying the solar system. If you're talking about decadence, I mean, how more decadent can you get with a rock star lifestyle?
Yeah.
The irony. It's like Bernie Sanders, like, going all out for the poor and the 1%. He's a,
Yeah, I know.
He lives in a pretty nice area. He's not living like the 1%.
No.
But fire to begin ripping dance of the dead. I wonder what it would be like if you were in that generation. Let's say, because I don't believe that the earth is going to get destroyed either. Mm-hmm. Well, no. I don't believe the earth is going to get destroyed. You did for years and years and years.
You never used to? Didn't we believe the same things growing up? I mean, hello.
Well, I believed in the rapture, but after that, I never. So
really, you didn't think the earth was going to get destroyed?
Yeah, I never thought that God was going to set the... Because it says in...
What?
It says in the Psalms, the earth remains forever.
Yeah, but what about the Revelation stuff where a third of the trees of this and that?
Yeah, a third. It didn't say everything was fucked up.
The moon was going to turn to blood. Everything was going to get fucked up at that point is what we...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Anyway, no, I don't believe that anymore.
Let's say that let's say because I think we're going to come up with a solution. We're going to come up with some green solutions and the world's going to be okay. But let's say it wasn't, right?
Yeah.
Like, what would it be like to, like, have you ever thought about this? Like, boom, there's a newscast. Look, the greenhouse and all that shit. It's all irreversible. It's all downhill from here. We've got, 2 years left before... we all die. Like, what would that be like? That would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd believe it.
Yeah, right. Well, when it would be real is when rich people start... No. When rich people start, like, creating planets off and...
Yeah.
Like...
That movie we saw.
What? Which one?
Remember that one where there was that guy that...
No, yeah.
That... I don't remember which name of that movie was.
Yeah, then you'd have all these moral conundrums, like who gets to live and who doesn't. And of course, the rich people would say, look, we obviously proved our
worth.
Our advancement by getting rich. So all these poor saps, when you see motherfuckers start, like, traveling off and setting up little colonies somewhere else, then you know.
Yeah, when Otep was explaining her growing up time, and she was saying that there was a fence that was down there, so all the rich people were there with their Christmas toys, and they were on the other side, I was like, that's mad sick.
Survival of the fittest on crack, man. Now you got a different planet.
Yeah. And remember, people had it on that movie, they had to, like...
So, like,
only certain people could go.
Have you ever put yourself in that situation? Like, what if we, like, screw up the planet to the point where it's, like, that comes across on the news?
No,
the whole planet has a crazy ass death sentence.
No, because even those movies, I never could like really relate with.
Because you always thought that.
Well, according to my theology, all the Christians are going to be snatched out before the whole world went to hell anyway. So you were like, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to affect me. I know it's really terrible, but that's what it was. were going to be taken away before any of the bad stuff happens, and you didn't really.
That's a crazy.
They had their opportunity and they didn't take it. So I know it. I know that it's terrible. I'm being honest with you guys. This is the way that I thought. But it's weird because I'm a sympathetic person. But with that, it just that theology.
There's something about American evangelicalism that makes people extremely ruthless.
Yeah.
Makes otherwise very nice people to be extremely ruthless. So like when I see comments like people are criticizing God and all the rest of it, like I don't just go, oh, you stupid. Like I feel like if we're representatives of God, and we're so fucking ruthless about everything, like I can understand you combine that with like a flood narrative and people are like, all right, forget it.
Oh, it's too much.
That's like a really mean mentality. What do you give the song?
8. 7. 8.
I don't think they did this song.
7.5.
This is actually a song where I don't think they did it very good live compared to the record itself.
Oh. Okay. So what do you give it?
So it's like a 7.5 for me.
That's what I did. 7.5.
Oh. Okay.
So we're on the same page.
All right. Well, I feel kind of floaty.
Well, babe, that's why I told you.
And out.
Sorry out.
Gone.